Yesterday, we showed you a deck that was all about tapping down things, so I figured I would just do the opposite and see what happens when we untap our stuff. So that's the theme. I built two concepts, untapping and knights. So we've got all the lands right there. You can see I only have one Cragcrown Pathway right now, 3 Fabled Passages, and the rest, let's see, where do we go here? 23 creatures, 24 lands. And let's start with the big drops. Garenbrig Paladin. If I spend at least 3 green mana, I get an extra +1 counter when he comes in. He can't be blocked with creatures power 2 or less. So I like that since we're going up against so many fast, cheap, small player decks. Syr Carah the Bold. Legendary creature. Whenever the Bold, or an instant or sorcery spell, deals damage to a player, I get to exile the top card of my library. Or I can just tap to deal 1 damage to any target. I did not build upon her first ability. The second ability is what really is there for. 4 copies of Clash of Titans. Target feature fights another target creature. This is a little bit different. You usually see a bunch of Rabid Bites or Ram Throughs in these kind of decks. With this case, though, I don't have to have my creature fight their creature. I can have both of their creatures fight each other, and hilarity will ensue, I'm sure. 1 Burning Yard Trainer, Trample Haste Knight. Whenever he enters the battlefield, another target knight I control gets +2/+2 and gets Trample and Haste. 2 copies of Rampart Smasher, can't be blocked by knights or walls. So I've got a bunch of knights, but if you have knights, you're in trouble. 1 copy of Leafkin Avenger to give me some mana if I really need to. And if the game lasts long enough and I get up to 8 mana, I can deal damage equal to my power directly to a target player. Sabertooth Mauler, just 1 copy of him. If a creature died, you get a +1/+1 counter. And you untap it, and that's where the untap theme begins to come in. Ogre Errant, whenever he attacks another target attacking knight, gains menace until end of turn. That could come in more handy than you might normally think, because they're not expecting it, okay? They can see the 3/4 creature coming at them, but the other creature over to the left that they expected to be able to block with just 1 creature all of a sudden takes 2. That can catch people off guard. Embereth Paladin, 4/1 Haster. If you spend 3 mana to cast him, you get an extra +1 counter, so he comes in as a 5/2 haste attacker. Only 1 copy of Warden of the Chained. He's just basically there to be a cheap chunk blocker, get him down fast if I need to. I didn't stack the deck with a bunch of them. I'm trying to keep from going overboard on the number of cards in my deck, so I've got 64. That's kind of the limit that I want to keep myself to these days. Svella the Ice Shaper, this is a legendary Snowkeeper from the Kaldheim expansion. Get to create the colorless snow artifacts to add 1 mana of any color. Or if the game lasts a long time, I can spend a lot of mana and then look at the top 4 cards of my library and cast any one of them without paying any more mana. Can't do green and red without my 1 copy of Radha, Heart of Keld, legendary elf warrior. You can look at the top of your library and play lands from the top. Another card that does well if the game lasts a long time. It's whenever it's my turn, Radha has first strike. So if you can pay the extra 6 mana, she gets +X/+X, where it's the number of lands you control. 1 Cultivate to help me get the right color lands out and get some more ramp up. 1 Broken Wings to deal with flyers, artifacts, or enchantments. Brimstone Trebuchet. This is sort of my ace in the hole, a card that really ends up pulling more than its fair share of weight because it does 1 damage to the opponent. I can do that each turn. It has reach, so I can stop the small flyers. But whenever a knight enters the battlefield, I get to untap it, which means that I can attack immediately for 1 damage. When my knight comes onto the battlefield, this one untaps, so I could do either 2 points at 1 turn, or I could do 1 point of damage and then still have it be available as a defender. Even to throw it away as a chump blocker, but as long as I get those damage points in, this can decide the game if I get it down early enough. 1 copy of Brushfire Elemental, so I can take advantage of the landfall early on if that comes out early. 2 copies of Syr Faren the Hengehammer. Whenever the Hengehammer attacks another target attacking creature, gets +X/+X, which is whatever Syr Faren's power is. 2 copies of Mereleaf Rider. I don't have any foods in here, I don't think, so it's just a cheap 3/1 creature for me to get down. 2 copies of Rimrock Knight. You notice I have 2 or 3 cards in here that go ahead and buff up my creatures a little bit. 4 copies of Joust. This is where a creature I control finally will attack another target creature. I took advantage of the fact that most of my creatures are knights, so I can pump them up even more for this fight if it's a knight. 1 copy of Embereth Shieldbreaker. This is mostly to destroy a pesky target artifact. 4 copies of Sudden Spinnerets to give him +1/+3, put a reach counter, and untap it. So this is my emergency way if I end up coming against an Angel deck and I'm coming up against just a ton of flyers, or maybe Blue's got an all-flyer deck. That happens quite a bit. Stony Strength, a couple of different copies from the different expansions on that. Also +1/+1 counter and untap the creature. So I got 6 of those. Or let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7 untap spells there. And then I got 2 copies of Weaselback Redcap. It starts off as a 1/1, but it can get in some early points real quick if the enemy's not set up with any defenders, and you can pump it up a time or two before it gets destroyed. That's how we're looking. It's about as much of an untap theme as I can fit in and still have a decent amount of creatures and still have at least one answer for things like enchantments and that kind of thing. I could take out, you know, if I wanted to get down to 60, I could take out Leafkin Avenger and Radha and Svella and Warden. Take out the double color characters. Maybe take out Brushfire Elemental instead. And squeeze in another untap type spell somewhere. But we're going to just try this and see how it goes. Well, this is disgusting. I can't do anything with that. This I can do something with. It's bad. The theme is untapping, but I'm going to get rid of the untap spell. 131 cards in your deck? Do you have enough? You want to go get some more? You can wait. I'll wait here. You go back, you go get some more cards. You probably need some more to help you out. Hi. First blood is mine. By a goblin of all things. This isn't going to be a mono red aggro deck, is it? No, sacrifice. Blue black sacrifice, okay. Let's do it. Okay, we'll get rid of him, and we'll get rid of him. Making me get rid of the theme of my deck. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Neener, neener, neener. Oh, this is going to be fun. This is why we have this card. But I need one more land. I got rid of the land. I had it milled. And now we got a clock on everything we can do. Okay, here we go. Let's get rid of 2 problems at once, shall we? Fight each other. Stop punching each other. Stop punching each other. I don't know how long I had this card. or when I got my 4th copy, but I've been itching for a place to put it in one of my decks. And this is good timing. If you don't block, I'm gonna pump it up. And you can't blame me. You're the one who decided not to block it. Another one, huh? Well, he's nothing if not consistent. That felt kind of bad. That felt like I was watching a dogfight or something for a second. I feel ashamed for having had to arrange that. Ah, perfect timing. Welcome to the party. Are you going to get anything that helps you? No, you are not. Well, the deck worked, but I didn't really get to untap anything. Okay, nothing with the untap theme just yet, but hopefully we'll get one of them and we'll be able to use it without having it milled away or discarded or counterspelled. That doesn't even seem fair, does it? They get a 3/3 down? That's not even a legendary, it's just a creature. Poor Trebuchet. No match, really. He's able to make it indestructible. I'm not sure how I'm going to get around him. And I didn't get my land drop. I'm in trouble now. Isn't it nice? I don't have a lot of powerful cards. These are my most expensive cards, and it made sure to give me both of them already. Oh, thank you. Playing poker. Sometimes the game just doesn't want you to win. You can't do anything about that. Not impressed with the total number of lands, but we'll try it. That's kind of why I kept Merrily Frighter in, even though I didn't have foods. Just precisely for things like this. He doesn't have haste, does he? He didn't last long, did he? It's okay. We just need to buy us a little bit of time. Let's see, which one should we put out? How about somebody with more than 3 points for hit points? Not to say Red won't eventually have a way to handle him, or even have a way to handle him now if he uses a buff up, but you know what? I'd rather they use it now than later. Okay. Next. It's strange how the auto tapper thought I'd want to use Rimrock Knight on somebody who has summoning sickness as opposed to keep the green free for Sudden Spinnerets. Okay, so if we put this out... Okay, I do want to keep it free for Rimrock Knights now, so we'll let the auto tapper do its job. And you do have something, but it's probably just a shock, right? Oh, he's thinking up a storm. Red's not used to this. They're used to just attacking without thinking. Now they have to think. So sorry. Say goodbye to your goblin tunneler. Is that enough? No, I'm not finished. Let's put some pressure on you. He lets it through, yes. If you got a shock, I'd use it on the Mauler. I should have brought the Knight down. Oh well, I'll survive. At least I think I will. Or I might die of boredom waiting for Red to decide what to do. They really are at a loss when they can't just click attack. They spend so much time thinking about stuff. It's my turn. You don't need to think during my turn. I'm just going to get more land. There you go. Yeah, we'll bring this guy down now. He might have the Storm Sorcery, which does 4 damage to everybody, and he might think that's a very good trade right now. Let's see. we want to, oops, we want to attack with you. We're willing to lose you to the Molten Ravager. Because it gives my Mauler into a 5/5. Another one? You tricked me. That's okay. You don't have enough to stop the Mauler right now. And the cool part about the idea of using these untap cards is they're kind of a secret weapon. I don't need to reveal them if I don't have to. If only he had trample. Looks like a pretty cool Sabertooth, though. He changed his mind. Interesting. Let's see, I'll save that for one where I need a reach counter. Oh, never mind. We'll use it now. See, red does have some ways to get rid of the bigger guys. Yeah, you can have that one. Come on through. Let's see. How about we get rid of the other Ravager now as well? And Rimrock can't defend anything, so I really should have used that to end the game. But I was just so excited about being able to attack red. I feel like there's been some role reversal tonight. Oh no, sorry. We have another one. You could have killed me if you just aimed both of those at my face. Some people are strange. Okay, we're doing a little tweaking. I've got 23 creatures. I feel like Maraleaf is not doing the job. We're going to get rid of both of those. That puts me down to 62. And let me just add in one more chance to take out flyers. We're going to try that. Just because so far our games are lasting a few rounds, and when we get that far in, they can start to get some really big flyers out. We don't have to worry about just angels anymore, or all blue air flights. We also have to worry about the dragons, especially due to the new adventures in Forgotten, or adventures in Dungeons and Dragons, I should say, right? From Brazil. A Brazen Dwarf. One damage, huh? Okay, so this is going to be a dice game. Let's go ahead and get some mountains in here. No need to attack right this second. I'm glad I got this ready for a dragon. And there comes, let's see if you'd roll one or more dice. So that's, they still need to get an ability to actually roll the dice. Okay, this is a knight. So our joust will work. Oh, did I mention our joust will work? Attack! You can put down your dice roll card now. I'm afraid I took away all your setup. Whenever you roll one or more dice, he gains flying and menace. Okay. Should we do it? Yeah. You're all tapped out, aren't you? Hit them while you can. You never know what they're going to do next. What are we doing over here? Contact other plane. Draw 2 cards. Did not attack that with that. Okay. We've got enough. You get haste. You get to attack. You tapped out again. Too bad that flying and menace could have come in handy. Oh no! Swarming goblins. Only got one. Good. Okay. Let's put you down. And we're willing to make this trade, or you want to just put the chump blocker in front. Okay, but he's got trample. I'm not sure if you remember that or not. My guy's got trample. How many cards do we get to draw? Just drawn 2. Okay. But that cost you 4, so all you've got is 1 more mana. Yep. You had a lot of nice cards. It would have been lovely if they'd stayed on the board and you had a setup, but we were too quick for that. But again, we didn't really get too much chance to show off our untap on that particular one. Okay. 1 of each is good enough to start. This is definitely a theme deck between the Knights and the Untap. This is not what you would call a competitive deck. If this lasts long enough, something like Kiora would just completely demolish us. But it is pretty fast, and the quickness is helped out a bit by the untapping ability to just surprise them and get rid of somebody that they thought they were going to clear the battlefield or change the game. And just being able to untap at the one unexpected place can really, let's see, hang on. Death Priest of Merkel. I don't think I've seen this one yet. Skeletons, vampires, and zombies you control get +1. If a creature died, you may pay. If you do, that's okay. That's at the end of their end step, not mine. What do we want to do with that? We'll get 1 green and 1 red. We'll attack with Radha. Skeletons, vampires, and zombies. Uh-oh. This could be a problem. It's tapped to start with, though, right? Okay. So, if it is, you're all tapped out. Let's get rid of you now. We can play you straight from the deck because of Radha. And we can bring you down. And we can attack. Okay, they got trample and they have to attack. And he's got 2 of them. At the beginning, create another one. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to untap and take them out so they don't swarm, because he's going to get 2 new tapped ones. And let's see. How did he get 4? Oh, if a creature died, create 2 of the tokens instead. I'm not sure, how does he go up from 1/1 to 7/1 though? The number of other skeletons. He only has 3 other skeletons. I don't know how that works. Oh well. Alright, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna have you 2 fight each other. We're going to attack. And I guess we'll just give it to you. And then we'll give you the extra point to kill everybody. And look at that. I used Untap to win. I think I'm going to quit while I'm ahead before someone breaks out Kira the Sea God or Emergent Ultimatum on me and just utterly destroys my poor little small knights. Thank you for tuning in. Tune in tomorrow. There'll be another deck, because here at Tpull's Corner, there's always another deck around the corner. Have a good one.